Today's First Alert afternoon weather update is brought to you by Lockhart Roofing.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Meteorologist Stone Schaefer here live for our 2 p.m. First Alert weather live stream. I want to thank everyone for joining me here today as we take a look at maybe some light rain chances trying to move in here on this Thursday. Maybe a rain chance for your Halloween, and then just a little bit more, plus the weekend and the drought monitor that updated this morning has some big updates that I will be talking about in just a little bit. But we start off looking over downtown Flint here on this Thursday. You just have some light clouds off in this distance, but otherwise the sun is peeking through, similar to what we had yesterday. It's not overcast, it's not totally blue, it's just right in between, with some areas getting some of that sunshine, especially out to the west and northwest here on today. I did want to look across the state because it is sort of a switch from one side of the state to the other. This is downtown Detroit, where you're looking at some cloud cover there. If you are going to be traveling down to Detroit, that's something you may deal with on and off. You may also be dealing with some light rain in the Detroit area for today. It's just reaching far enough to the west, that low pressure system that is just to our east, that's an area that could see some rain. Now, as we look up to the north, obviously the Mackinac Bridge, a totally different story there in the sky. Lots of sunshine, dry conditions. That rain doesn't quite get to you, really doesn't get that far west through the day. We'll actually take a look at our pinpoint Doppler here, and we can see that rain chance is just maybe reaching as far west as Lapeer and Sanilac County. But even most of that may just be more of a clutter on the radar. I don't know how much that's actually falling right now here as we enter the 2 o'clock hour. If it is very light. I think southern Lapeer County, that would be an area you may be seeing some light rain, and that may reach into eastern Genesee County, but for the most part, we are dry across the region with that mix of cloud cover. We'll actually zoom back in real quick to mid-Michigan. Not quite sure why that just happened, why it's jumping out on us just quite yet. But we can see, again, there is some cloud cover that is trying to build itself across the region from the east to the west. But I do think really that 127 corridor up to Roscommon County, that looks to be the areas that are seeing the most sunshine. Then as you head out west towards Lake Michigan and up towards Mackinac, definitely seeing lots of sunshine there today, but definitely getting that cloud cover. Zooming out though towards we'll start off on that too low system that we're sort of seeing across the region. There's a low right now moving through southern Ohio. That is what's bringing us this rain chance. The biggest difference for this is it's going to start to move north. Hurricane Melissa is now starting to catch up to it, and that's going to keep this low sort of on the northeast portions of the country over the next couple of days. It's what's giving us that chance of wraparound rain here into this afternoon, but just as far enough to the east that rain is just missing us. Now, could there still be some development? Sure, I think it's going to be very light if we see anything develop here over the next day or so. And then eventually we'll get a wind shift, and that will change our chance of rain to more of a lake effect rain here over really the rest of this afternoon into our Friday. And then Hurricane Melissa still out there in the Atlantic, just starting to move faster and faster to the north-northeast, heading towards Bermuda. That should stay out to the east. Obviously have some indirect impacts on the coastal cities and coastlines of the United States, but not seeing that direct impact as we get here over the next couple of days and eventually start to move pretty far northeast as it gets past the United States. So a good thing it's not making that direct impact. Obviously, if you've been on social media, you've probably seen the impacts in areas like Jamaica, where just some devastation has happened in those areas because of Melissa. Obviously, one of the strongest hurricanes recorded in history there. Is I think at Category 2 at this point, so has weakened as it's maybe moved into some colder waters there just off the coastlines in the Atlantic Ocean. Now back to mid-Michigan, temperatures right now, they are in the mid-50s to the lower 50s. You have areas like Gladwin, Standish, Clare at 55, Midland and Saginaw also holding on to 55. You'll have Bad Axe and Bay City at 50, Port Sanilac at 50, and then areas like Caseville, Port Hope, Harbor Beach at 53 to 51. Mount Pleasant is leading the way right now at 56. Then we look at winds. It's definitely breezy out there. A few of our cams that have flags off in the distance, you can see those flags are blowing in the wind. It's winds from the north-northeast at 15 to 20 miles per hour. So definitely on the breezy side as you're getting out and about. And in terms of wind gusts, we're setting wind gusts up to possibly 25 to 30 miles per hour. Flint a little while ago had a wind gust up to 30. Now Saginaw is registering a wind up to 30. So definitely noticeable as you're getting out and about here on our Thursday afternoon. It should remain that way, or will remain that way, at least through the rest of our day into tomorrow. We'll see how things calm down into the weekend. It does look like it will try to calm down just a bit. Now lows for tonight, they're right back into the mid-30s, a little warmer than what we've been seeing, even a few lower 40s thrown in there, especially as you move to the east and into our coastline cities. So getting closer to average for this time of year. Average is in the mid to upper 30s, so we have been below average for our lows, but good to see we are getting those mid to upper 30s, just a little bit warmer. And then our highs for Halloween/Friday, not much different than what we've been seeing. It's those mid to lower 50s, 55 in Bay City, 52 in Saginaw, 53 in Flint. And then as you move to the north, you do get a few of those lower 50s, Bad Axe, West Branch, Holton Lake, all at 50 right now. So definitely a little bit colder as you're moving to the north, but not by much. Most areas at or just below average for Friday afternoon. And then looking back at wind gusts again, our peak wind gusts are definitely through the next few hours. I think by 10 p.m. it's just into our eastern counties, but still seeing a north-northeast wind at 10 to 20. So definitely still noticeable as we get into tomorrow morning. Still seeing wind gusts at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Does look like it's going to peak again right around 2 to 3 p.m. on our Friday with wind gusts up to 15 to 25 miles per hour, but should calm down through the night Saturday and looks to stay calm for a majority of our Saturday afternoon into Sunday. So that's a good thing for anyone that is going to maybe want to take care of those Halloween decorations as we get through the weekend, or even maybe just get outside, rake some leaves. You obviously have better conditions to do that, and in terms of winds, won't have to deal with any of your trash bags that you're throwing those things in getting blown away by stronger winds. So definitely a good thing to see. Looking at hour by hour, there really isn't much to see. Again, it looks like our rain chances are going to stay to our east. There could still be some light stuff in Sanilac and Lapeer counties, but even that looks to be a small chance through about 9 p.m. We get through the night, we remain dry with relatively clear skies, but as we're waking up, cloud cover will start to rebuild itself across much of mid-Michigan, so not going to see much sun, but it's enough you'll notice it as you're getting out and about. Good afternoon, Tristan. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day. As always, have any questions, head over to our Facebook page at WNEM TV5 News. I do try to get to them as we're going through the live stream. I do apologize if I miss your chat. I don't always have the chance to look over there. But as we get through the rest of our Halloween/Friday, just a few lake effect isolated rain showers could reach that 127 corridor through the early afternoon, so 1 to 2 p.m., maybe beyond that to like 5 or 6 p.m., but they're really small chances. I would still be prepared if you're going to be outdoors just for that chance. But again, most areas should be dry in mid-Michigan. Then as we get through the night, Friday into Saturday morning, still seeing some very isolated rain chances reaching really the 75 corridor, Saginaw and Bay City. Again, think that's a small chance as you're waking up Saturday morning, and then through Saturday afternoon, just a lingering isolated shower, and I even think that's a pretty small chance. We'll see on our 7-day forecast that chance does look to remain pretty small. I think the biggest thing for this weekend is moving those clocks back. A reminder, that's Saturday night into Sunday. Get that extra sleep. But looks to be a pretty nice weekend after today and tomorrow with temperatures in the 50s and those lake effect rain showers possible. We see a drop into the 40s for Saturday and Sunday. And then we're right back in the 50s for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. But I do got to take a break real quick here. Once I come back from that break, we're going to be looking at the drop monitor that updated this morning. Did have some big updates, some big changes for people in a good way. We'll also be looking more at Halloween and maybe some Friday Night Lights forecast. So make sure you stay right here. Well, welcome back, everyone. Meteorologist Stone Schaefer here for the second half of our Thursday afternoon First Alert Weather live stream. We're going to start off looking at our Halloween forecast. I know it's a pretty big event for some, and obviously you have other events going on. Maybe you're just going to be outdoors or just hanging with friends and family on our Friday afternoon/evening. Did want to start our hour-by-hour sort of forecast for trick-or-treat time. I know there's a lot of areas that trick-or-treating starts right around 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. So what you'll be looking at is temperatures in the upper 40s. Mostly cloudy skies will definitely be what we see. I think the sun may try to peek through in some areas, especially as we get closer to sunset. So you may actually get some good views of that sunset right around that 6 to 7 sort of time frame. And then as the sun sets, cloud cover is going to roll in. We'll have cloudy skies, temperatures in the mid to lower 40s. Again, could be breezy at times, a northwest wind right around 10 to 15 miles per hour, and then those gusts up to 25 to possibly 30 miles per hour. It's a small chance to get up to 30, but I don't want to count it out. So make sure, again, hold on to those costumes, hold on to those candy bags as you're out and about. If you, again, have Halloween decorations, make sure they are really put into place as winds do look to continue to stay strong over the next couple of days. We also have Friday Night Lights going on. First week of playoffs as teams look to continue their seasons. Let's look what weather you can expect. Again, mostly cloudy skies, temperatures at kickoff for some of those games at the mid 40s. As always, make sure you check your Friday Night Lights kickoff times. They do change as we get into the playoffs. Some are at 7, some are at 6, some are at 7:30. You may even have some games on Saturday. So just make sure you're checking your local Friday Night Lights sort of kickoff times. Those are going to change as we get into the playoffs, and some of them even get changed even more as we get deeper into the playoffs. I think we start to see more Saturday games. So check your local kickoff times here over the next couple of weeks if you're someone that does sort of keep track of those Friday Night Light games. But again, mostly cloudy and northwest wind 5 to 15 with gusts, I think 20 to 25 miles per hour. With those winds, wind chills could be down to 40 degrees, maybe upper 30s. So definitely going to feel it as you're getting out and about. I did keep that 10% rain chance. Again, I think it's very small. It's going to be lake effect rain reaching that 127 corridor. So if you have any games along 127, I think that's going to be the area that you could catch a quick rain. And then in terms of if you're heading out west, I know we have a few teams that do have some west side of the state games. That might be an area that you do catch some quick rain showers. So if you are someone that is traveling out west, beyond 127, just be prepared for that. But for the most part, you should be in the dry for our Friday night, week 1 of high school football playoffs. Then we want to take a look at our drop monitor. Obviously, we had our update this morning, and if you paid attention or if you remembered last week's, you'll notice there is some pretty big changes as areas of southern Saginaw, a majority of Shiawassee County, and northwest Genesee County have now been removed from any of our drought characteristics. So we're talking they've now been lowered below that abnormal drought, and Saginaw and Bay City now have been lowered to the abnormally dry conditions. So no longer really in the drought categories, but still abnormally dry. We still need some rain. If you're living out to the west, pretty much a majority of Isabella County still sitting in that severe drought. So that's an area that definitely needs some rain here over the next couple of days or next couple of weeks, and obviously getting that snowfall in the winter will help. But I think one of the things you want to happen is sort of lower that drought as much as we can as we head into the winter, because we really need that snow to melt to help some of that drought monitor get some relief. And another thing is areas like Tuscola County into Genesee County that were in the moderate drought have now dropped to the abnormal. So that's a good sort of progression that we want to see as we get here through the remainder of fall and into winter, is just seeing that improvement, especially down to the south. So Chesaning, Owasso, those are areas that you are now out of the drought categories and back into the sort of good ratings. So hopefully we can continue that. Obviously, western Huron County still having that severe drought, and then 127 Isabella County out towards Lake Michigan. It hasn't gotten much of that rain. It sort of really, you can see where that rain sort of set itself up over the last couple of weeks, is right in that corridor that improved from Bay City down to Owasso and Lansing, and then beyond that to the south. So again, we'll keep you up to date with this drought monitor here over the next couple of weeks. Hopefully we can get some more rain chances. Again, it's been pretty quiet this week. Looks like we may be pretty quiet next week, just a few isolated chances. Hopefully we can get some more as we head closer and closer to the winter. And then just wanted to look at the tropics tracker real quick. Hurricane Melissa, again, is Category 2. I think I mentioned that earlier. Winds still at 105 miles per hour with gusts up to 125. The pressure is right around 964. Is sort of heading towards Bermuda. It's going to be there here over the next couple of days. We'll stay as a hurricane through Friday morning. And then beyond that, as we get into Friday afternoon and Friday night, we'll transition back into a tropical system as it moves towards sort of the northern portions of the world. But it's moving right around the northeast at 30 miles per hour. Again, it is weakening. It is entering some cooler water, so not the best environment. And again, it's good to see that it didn't make a direct impact with mainland United States. Obviously still having some indirect impacts with water hazards along the shoreline cities there in North and South Carolina, Florida, into the Virginia area, and then along Washington, New York, Boston, those coastlines as well, having that impact here over the next couple of days. But obviously Jamaica, some of the biggest impacts, Cuba, the Bahama area, it's just those tropical islands definitely seeing some of that impact. Is the hurricane going towards some other land? Tristan asks. It looks like it's going to be mostly off land. There may be some areas there far northeast Canada. It may make some impacts. And once it gets up far enough, sometimes I do like to take this sort of sort of an easterly track and actually make sort of impact in areas like the UK. By that time, it won't be a hurricane, but they do get, sometimes when you get these tracks to the northeast, they sort of turn east and then make some storms there in the UK and then into Europe. But again, by that time, they're pretty weak. Not much there, not a hurricane, just a low pressure system that will make impact for them. Now, I did want to, before we end the stream here, look at our 7-day forecast once again. We have 50s for the next 2 days into Halloween. We're back into the 40s for this weekend with upper 40s for both Saturday and Sunday. And then for Monday through Wednesday of next week, it's right back into the mid 50s. Again, could see another rain chance on Monday and on Wednesday. Still some time there. We'll see how things develop with that. But for the most part, things are looking decent, I'd say. Definitely fall-like with our temperatures, a little cooler into this weekend, but should stay dry. Should be able to get out there and take down any of those Halloween decorations. And obviously, if you have any Thanksgiving or Christmas decorations, those sort of winter holidays, you may want to start putting those up as we have that nice weekend ahead. But I want to thank everyone for joining me here on this Thursday. As always, check out our website at WNEM.com. There you can go to the weather tab, you can go to the live stream tab. There you can get more content from the weather team, including some of the new streams that we're adding on here over the next couple of weeks. We're always going to keep you up to date with the weather, and we'll obviously keep you up to date with news and sports. And again, thank you everyone for joining me. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Thursday.
Thank you for joining us. Today's stream has been brought to you by Lockhart Roofing.